Boom. How's everybody doing today? Nobody's here yet. So this is the Cannabis Closet for those of you joining on our audio after the show. And we're going to be talking about news headlines today. I'm rolling solo today. So I'll be just kind of getting into stuff on my own. Just going to wait for a few minutes. There's Nex. What's up, Nex? I can always count on you, and I appreciate you. So I'm just going to wait for a few people to join. I'm rolling solo today because, well, we went to a concert Friday and MJ had Friday off, and now she works today. So, sometimes we got to sacrifice to go to a Dead & Company concert. Excuse my nail polish. It's all coming off. Those of you watching live. How you doing when you come in? Say hello if you don't mind. Let me know you're here. It's kind of weird being solo. I don't usually do this on this channel. It's my other channel, and I haven't done anything on my other channel in such a long time that I'm not sure. I'm not sure what to do. What do I do with my hands? I know what to do. We're going to get into some news headlines, and we're going to talk about the probability of your kids getting a hold of cannabis candies in their Halloween bags. It's pre-Halloween. 'Tis the season for all of these stupid stories. And so I just figured we'd talk about them. I clearly have an opinion on it. So light it if you got it. Let me know what you're smoking on out there. I am smoking a caviar joint. So it's a mixture of things. What was it called? Do I have the bag with me? It's way over there. I don't remember what it was called. But hopefully, not hopefully. I'm almost done with it. It's pretty good. These get me pretty solid. And then I'm going to pack a King Palm too, which this one is watermelon flavor. But sometimes, I don't pop the capsule. Gas tanker. What's the profile on that? What's it smell like? Gas tanker. That sounds amazing. I guess I'll take this time in the beginning to do a little advertising. This show is sponsored by my company, CQ LLC Consulting. Customer service cqllc@gmail.com is where you can reach out. 970-426-5985. You can also just give a call. I'll probably send you to voicemail the first time, though, until I know who you are. So I know that didn't sound very professional, but the thing is I do get robocalls on my business number too. So let's try to avoid those altogether. So I might not be rolling solo the whole time. I'm trying to figure that out right now, but for now and for the time being, gonna be solo. Hope you guys don't mind. I'm just sending this link over to MJ if you guys are wondering why I have this look on my face. Okay. So that she can jump on here as soon as possible. Where is she? Just gonna start a new one. MJ. Nope. And nope. There it is. There it is. So she'll come through when she can come through. So holler, give us a holler, CQ LLC. Cannabis Consulting. If you need help figuring out your build out, if you need help turning around your business because it's not doing well and you think you're doing everything right, give us a call. We can help you out. We'll help you remedy your problems. Gas and sour diesel. That sounds amazing. Amazing. I just had food brought in and I'm trying to see how it's going to be delivered to me because the person delivering it does not want to be on camera. So today I just figured we go through some headlines and then we're going to talk about some stuff, the candy stuff, because it's important. Save the children. I just want to let y'all know that 5 minutes before coming on camera, I heard the worst sound any pet parent can hear, and that is the dog lurching like it's going to throw up and then actually throwing up. So that was fun. Oh, I thought, hey, what's up, Schnooks? Ooh, listen to this. Myrcene, limonene, caryophyllene, and pinene. Does it taste like Christmas? That sounds amazing. Also, if you guys just want to reach out to the Cannabis Closet, you can do that. You can check us out, cannabiscloset420@gmail.com. You can come hang out with us on our Discord. I will share that link in the comment section. If you're listening via Spotify or Apple Podcasts, Google Play, or any of those audio podcast stations, you can hit us up, cannabiscloset420@gmail.com, and become a member of our Discord. We will send you a link to join us in our podcast station. What is Discord? Everybody asks. It's like a 90s chat room, but it has like video, right? So if you can imagine that, that's what it is. I know, right? It was the worst. It was the worst sound. I moved really quickly. I was like, what the fuck is that? And somebody threw up. That's what it was. So let's see what is going on in the news. There's a couple of good things I saw already. Look at that. New York officials are moving to clear over 400,000 past marijuana convictions. New York officials advance home cultivation regulations for qualified patients. So New York has two headlines today. This is from normal.org. If you go to their homepage, norml.org, you can find these stories. State officials have sealed nearly 200,000 marijuana-related criminal convictions, and they are in the process of expunging several 100,000 more. So this is good. According to an update provided by the agency at its most recent meeting, approximately 203,000 marijuana-related charges are presently being suppressed from background searches and in the process of being sealed or expunged. It's amazing. Good job, New York. This will add to the approximately 198,000 sealing accomplished as part of the first round of expungements in 2019. So good job, New York. New York is among several states in recent months to take steps to either vacate or seal marijuana-specific criminal records. Illinois has done it. They've expunged an estimated 500,000 marijuana-related records. California, nearly 200,000 records. California, there's way more. Y'all are huge, but good job. And New Jersey, 362,000. Last week, officials in Virginia have announced that they have sealed 330,000 low-level marijuana possession convictions and another 64,000 misdemeanor distribution convictions. More than a dozen states have enacted legislation explicitly permitting or facilitating the process of having past marijuana convictions expunged, vacated, or otherwise set aside or sealed from public view. So this is good news, because if we have what do you call them, dispensaries, sorry, I lost the word. If we have dispensaries that look like Apple stores, then people should not be in jail for selling cannabis at all, like at all. That should not be the case. So this is good news. Let's see what the other story is about for New York. New York's doing great things. New York officials advance home cultivation regulations for qualified patients. This is for the first time they're explicitly permitting qualified patients to home cultivate cannabis. The proposed rules, which must undergo a 60-day public comment period, permit the cultivation of up to 6 plants per private residence. The regulations will take effect once the public comment period is ended. So do you hear that? So if you are in New York, there's going to be a public comment period for the advancement of these rules. If you don't have anything negative to say, then go say something very positive, because that's going to help. Because there are going to be people that come on there and say, no, I don't want this. They're going to be like landlords and stuff like that. And old people, I don't want to smell it in my apartment, all that shit. So, so go make public comment on this. And I mean, landlords are still going to have the right to say no to you and stuff like that. But it just, if you're living in a neighborhood, it's not going to prevent you because you live in that neighborhood. That's not going to be the prevention thing. If you, go say it, go say something. So that's good news. Go have your voice heard. If you are in New York or anywhere where cannabis is being discussed, on a legislative level, go have your voice heard. We say this all the time. There's some activism call out here on the normal page, so go check that out. We said this last week, but New York employers are prohibited from testing most employees for cannabis. So unless you're doing like a dangerous job that requires you to wear like a hard hat and use heavy machinery and stuff like that, you're not allowed to be tested for that. We talked about those last week. So let's see if there's anything on this one. So that was normal, norml.org, if you want to check those stories out and other stories that we talk about. These are all from 3 days ago. Is there anything from today? 4 hours ago. Feds must legalize marijuana, top lawmaker in Nevada is saying. Psychedelics Group issues first round of grants for community-based entheogenic. Is that how you pronounce that? Entheogenic? I think so. Education in DC. Texas upholds Delta. Oh, here we go. So we talked about this last week. Texas is trying to outlaw Delta 8. I'm on the fence about Delta 8. It is a synthesized product. Some of those products are synthesized to test them, but they need to be tested and understood before we consume them. So there's where I'm at with that. And Delta 8, I'm still not sure about. It's definitely a product of prohibition. And then what I mean by that is because they can't have, they don't have cannabis legislation. They have, okay, let me start over. They have some cannabis legislation in Texas, but it's a very limited patient program. I think there's 3 to 5 dispensaries. It's a high CBD, low THC situation, and you have to meet certain criteria, which are very restricted. And so it's not as accessible to patients in Texas. And because of that, or anybody else, and because of that, then other options are made available. And those other options are the loopholes that we find in the hemp market that doesn't have regulation burdening it. And when I say that, I mean, keeping it from doing the thing. Regulations can be a burden, but they are also necessary, and they're not there in the hemp market. So it's up to the producer of the products to test the products. And there's some things that we just don't know about Delta 8. Having said that, okay. So Delta 8 is being produced from, is being said to have been produced from CBD hemp product, or potentially from the 0.3% Delta 9 that they find in the plant. But it's a huge loophole that they're finding. Texas has outlawed it. Texas has said, nah, we're not going to allow this. The cannabis company Hometown Hero filed suit against Texas Department of State Health Services last week, arguing that it improperly revised the hemp policy this month to specifically prohibit products with more than trace amounts of forms of THC other than Delta 9, the most commonly known psychoactive component or compound in cannabis. In a ruling dated Friday and announced on Monday, the court decided against the plaintiff's request to have temporary restraining order imposed on the state. Subsequently, the hemp business said it will halt sales of certain products as it prepares for the November 5th hearing on a more consequential temporary injunction against the state. These are the first steps in yet another legal battle over hemp in the state following the plant's legalization. Delta 8 has surged in popularity, particularly in states with more restrictive cannabis laws. So, if the state has like no cannabis laws or no legalization at all, or very restrictive laws, then they're more likely to have a surge in Delta 8 purchases, consumption. You let me know. Can you bring yourself in when you're ready, or you just let me know what you want to do? What you want to do? So she's coming. She had to work late, so she'll be here shortly. I explained that earlier, and I'm sorry that you missed it, but I'll explain again. MJ did have to work late today, so she is coming through shortly. She's actually in the waiting room right now, but I don't know that she's ready to. I don't know that she's going to be camera ready, but she's here-ish, sort of. So I'm just kind of like rolling through some headlines right now on my own. And I thought that today, because we're super irresponsible sometimes, in that we didn't plan today's show. And so I tried to find a couple of guests last minute, but it didn't really work out. So I just figured I would come on and do some of these actually really important headlines and see if she could come through. And then we could also talk about, is there actual legitimacy? Have there actually been cases of people finding marijuana candy in their children's Halloween buckets? Since we're so close to Halloween is on what, Sunday? So Sunday, move it to the 30th. Forget it. It's on Saturday this year. Anyways, so I figured we could talk about that, and I pulled up a couple of stories. What I found was that the mainstream media is like, beware. And I was like, y'all ain't never bought an edible in your whole life. And then other stories are like, is this an actual thing? So we're going to get into that a little bit. But so Delta 8 is right now, it's being outlawed in Texas. They're not the only state that's going to do that, you guys. And the federal government might do that too, or pop some different regulations, because it's what we call an analog. So it's so similar to the outlawed product that it is considered the outlaw product, basically, is how the law kind of reads. And like I said, if they can't have Delta 9, then the state's going to be like, oh, this is like Delta 9. No, they're not going to allow it. So, I didn't do my trigger warning at the beginning of the show, but any of the stories that I read are not from my point of view. And thank you for the reminder. And I will give you my point of view, and my point of view is mine and mine alone. And they're not necessarily the views of the show. So Canna Queen, at Canna Queen DGO, at me there if you got a problem with anything that I got to say about it. I don't have a problem defending myself. But what I want to say is that businesses out there selling Delta 8 products, THCO products, and potentially even Delta 10, although that comes more naturally from the plant, but it does have to be synthesized because we can only get it in small amounts. But people that are selling those products on their CBD lines, you got to be careful. You got to pay attention to what's going on in what the laws are stating and everything, because this can really affect your business. Okay, everybody, the moment you've been waiting for. Are you ready? She's made it. You're not muted. Thank goodness.
I'm
Oh,
as ready as I'm
there.
gonna.
Where are you right now? Oh, nope, I lost her. See? This is technology. She'll be back. So anyways, be careful. And if you're a consumer out there, pay attention to what the studies are saying, because there's not very many. First of all, that's problematic. Yeah, so just be careful out there about what you're consuming. Don't get caught up in the hype. So anyways, pay attention. Texas right now saying no to Delta 8. No to Delta 8. That's that sucks. She'll be back. See, she's back already. I don't know if she's back already, actually. It's just a white screen right now. So let's see what else is going on while we wait for her to come back. Let's see. Top Rhode Island lawmakers signal that marijuana legalization deal is close, with key issues being agreed upon. This is from 4 days ago, but I don't think we covered it. So I'll just talk a little bit about Rhode Island. We don't talk about Rhode Island very much. Do you know that Rhode Island is a reciprocity state? So I'm not sure what's in Rhode Island that would make anybody want to go there. And that's not a slight. It's real life. I don't know. But whatever it is, if you have your medical card, take it with you, because they do offer reciprocity in Rhode Island. Are you back? Hi.
No.
Nope. There went on the floor.
I know. I'm trying.
She's trying. But now she's frozen. We'll like my joint. I'm going back a new one.
See if I can get some better lighting too.
Your face looks beautiful. I mean, it's always beautiful, but
you know. A little mess today. My hair's been all over. I've been like wild and crazy. I told you that I bought some new eye drops, and I put those eye drops in my eyes, and my contacts up, and I couldn't see out of my right eye for an hour.
Yes.
Yeah, that was fun. Don't buy the gel eye drops, people. They're weird.
They're weird. And also, all of your clothes are too big this weekend.
Yes. What the Frank? I was like, I didn't even work out this week.
Excuse me, can we make a t-shirt that says "What the Frank"? Because you say that a lot.
I do say it a lot.
And I think we should make a character also to go along. Maybe we can name our yak Frank.
I used to have a boss named Frank, and when I would say "What the Frank," all the other employees would be like, "What are you doing?
What are you talking about?"
What Frank? All right, okay. I'm ground up. I'm seated. Me throw my keys.
Hey, if any of y'all are want to help us with some artwork, MJ's doing it on her own. So any ideas that you might have, you want to join us in the Discord, like I said earlier, we can share ideas. We would definitely give you credit for what's going on.
I met a new person today that was like, we were just chatting, and he's like, I don't know if I'm allowed to talk to you about mushrooms. I was like, oh yeah, totally. He's like, I just started just talking about it, and then he's like, I'm an artist, and I haven't done anything in years and years and years. And he's like, I stopped drinking and started, using cannabis more. And he's like, my creativity, he's like, it's gone through the roof. He's like, it's back. And I was like, and I was telling him about the fact that I was like, well, same here. Haven't picked up a pencil, drawn anything in years. And
444. Sorry, go ahead.
And here I am, after picking up some mushrooms, and the necessity and the fact that, but he's also, he's like, I dabble more in like comic book art. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep your name on my phone.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So hopefully he'll check all the show.
We have lots of ideas and lots of amazing projects that we're working on with amazing people. Actually, I had such a good phone call today with one of my favorite people. I'm not disclosing a whole lot, but things are definitely, yeah, in the works right now, for a lot of things. And I actually, I agree with you that we need to bring that person on to discuss a whole lot of shit.
Would love it. Would love it.
A whole lot of shit.
Yeah.
It's a woman, of course. So, yeah. So I wanted to talk today a little bit about the candy thing because we hear about it every year, and I thought it's almost Halloween. So we should talk about it. Do you have plans for Halloween? Look, she's frozen like that. Isn't her face beautiful? Somebody take a screenshot.
Can you still hear me now?
I can still. Oh, there you are. Yep. Yeah, I can still hear you.
Okay. Well, I don't, being that I'm going back down to the Front Range to drop off my practitioner tomorrow, I'm going to help Emily get her costume together. Marla is like, you don't have to come down for Halloween necessarily. Emily's going to be trick-or-treating with one of her little friends that lives in the neighborhood and goes to school with her. So she's she has people to
Are they
go
doing
with,
like similar costumes or?
She's doing this Hello Kitty character that wears a black hood, and he's gonna be some kind of anime character that he likes.
Okay. So not the same characters, but in similar, I guess, genre. Was Hello Kitty considered an anime?
I don't know. I mean, it is Japanese, but I don't think they have like a
No.
cartoon.
She said no.
I don't think it's animation.
Marla, did you receive a package for us that we did not get while we were there? We're supposed to get it on Thursday and didn't. Kurami is the Hello Kitty character, or in that genre. Okay.
Yes. It is an actual Hello Kitty character, but it has a skull. It wears a black hood and with a skull on it. I was very surprised. Hello Kitty is being diverse.
No. She said no again. So I don't know what we're getting wrong, but I would love to be right.
No, I don't know. I don't know. She didn't get a box for us. No.
Oh, no packages. Got it.
No package.
Oh, so our package is just gone.
Sister, did you get your
Hey, V9 grows in the house right now. What's up?
What up, Leon? I can't see any of our comments, I think, because I'm in the
you're in the
guest.
She came in as a guest. Well, V9 grows is here. What's up?
What up?
It's your boy.
And
my boss is next on my list right now. For anybody that's actually wondering what's happening, how this little baggie. I'm gonna get in trouble.
I got a Manitou sour. This
nice.
Oh, and I was hearing what you were saying about Rhode Island being reciprocal. What?
Yes.
Yeah, no, we don't talk about
they've always
Rhode Island.
they've always been a reciprocity state. They've always been a reciprocity state. I used to teach so if anybody needs an educator, call you girl. That's my specialty. But I used to teach in the what do you call it, in the area. New England. Sorry.
The area,
the area, like, so I taught about Connecticut laws, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, Vermont, Massachusetts, all the surrounding areas like that. And then we did New York and New Jersey separately, because they're kind of close, but not. Anyways. So Rhode Island wrote their laws like that. If you have a medical card and you're coming in from another state, They're going to be more restrictive than their actual patient laws, but I don't remember those off the top of my head. Apologies, but I do remember that they are reciprocal. So you could go there and you can use your medical card and sign up as a temporary patient or something like that. Get your
Right, kind of like
medicine.
Oklahoma does or Hawaii does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not going to be like what an actual patient in the state can receive, which is how it is. And when you go to Vegas or in Nevada, they're reciprocal. Also, just so y'all know, even though they have adult use, if you have your medical card, you get medical patient prices, which means that the taxes aren't bestowed upon your back.
Which I think
Congratulations.
is fair. I think that
Mhm.
moving forward, all states should do this.
Yeah.
Colorado
If
should do
it's
this.
medicine, if I can go to a pharmacy and pick up my medicine in another state in an emergency or something like that, and because I can't travel with my medicine in this particular instance, then yes, states should with medical programs should be reciprocal. And you don't have to offer the same that you offer to your patients necessarily. It could be like a lesser amount is legal or something like that.
Or you still, or maybe just pay a slight more bit in tax, whatever
Yeah. Something, but patients should be able to get their medicine wherever they are. If they're in a legal state, obviously, I think all states should be legal, but
and
some
not pay
states,
adult use prices and taxes.
it's ridiculous,
Because
man.
it's ridiculous, because you know what, again, what happens is there will be people or patients that take the chance that say, I'm not going to buy adult use, I'm going to bring my medicine with me, and they're putting themselves at risk,
Yes.
and so
Yes, it's
we're telling
risky.
patients you're legal until you leave somewhere. That's cool.
Yeah. And also there should be more places like I think for smoking, outdoor smoking should be allowed. Not necessarily everywhere in public. I would love that. I'm trying to be a person of compromise and understanding.
Right.
But like, in smoking areas, there should be an allowance for people who need to smoke. So if I'm
Yep.
visiting and I'm in a hotel, I'm not going to smoke up your hotel room,
Yeah.
right? I'm going to go
It's
out on the
funny.
balcony or I'm going to
Go outside.
go outside, right?
Or I'm putting myself again at risk to be, messed with by sitting in my car, because that's where I can medicate during the winter.
Right. Or like also just doing it in your hotel room is also a risk. You don't know who's going to report it. You get that $250 fine that they threaten you with. It's just a whole thing.
It's a whole thing. It's funny. I got a little scare up here, for my office, that we work out of one of the hotels, and a big story went out in their local paper that someone's is trying to buy up all of the cheaper hotels, or the lower, the older hotels, and turn them into employee housing, which is amazing because employee housing is necessary, especially in these mountain towns. The other thing, but I was like,
Oh,
at the
so
same time, I
much.
was like, don't kick me out. Don't know. I was like, that's all the affordable places for people to stay.
Yeah.
Literally all the affordable places. Everything else is super expensive. You're talking about, the next
You
level up
live in
from
a,
your Best Western,
you
the next
live
level
in
up
an
from there.
expensive place too.
I do.
You do. We literally for two people spent 2 nights in a row like $80
For food. Yeah, for
for
food.
food to eat.
And,
And I was like,
I mean,
can we go to the grocery store after this? Because I can't.
yeah. Yeah. Off season, sometimes off season, they do some great deals. Oh, God, I have to show you what my dog's doing.
Lady. So cute.
Lady. So stoic.
She's so adorable. So yeah, it was expensive out there. I was like, we got to go to the grocery store. And then we left the pizzas for you, Marla.
She
and
was
the and
like,
the
she's like, where did you find the hamburger pizza? She's like, that one's her favorite. And
my
I
favorite
already
too.
told her. to Walmart, and she's like, it's different. Like when
Then
they're round than when it was a round pizza. Yeah, like the flavor's different or something.
Yeah. I agree with that. It is. It's different, but it is also still my favorite. But it is different. Yeah. You know why? I think that Gen Xers don't like stuff that we used to love because they changed the ingredients to make them cheaper.
Yep. That's exactly how things work. It's exactly.
And we can taste the difference now. We're like, that's not what it tastes like. That's not just merely my taste buds changing over time. That's like literally not what that tasted like at all.
Yes. Cheaper ingredient or a different, chemical filler to replace,
right.
Something. Processed foods are fun like that.
They experimented on us, y'all. They experimented on us. It's not the same hamburger. It's not right. Exactly. They were like, we can go with it. It tastes similar. No, it doesn't. Totino's. Totino's. No, it doesn't.
Even, I used to work for Outback when they were good, when they were quality, when that was like the nice restaurant to eat at. And now it's the level of Chili's. They were bought by and went into the style of, let's make a big mass menu. Let's diversify our ingredients rather than incorporate them so that there's like at one point we had you use this for this item and this for this item, and it was still a different menu item, but it cut down on certain costs, so you could, I don't know. And so now I don't even like going to Outback as much because it's not the same.
That Bloomin' Onion is not the same either. I'm sorry.
No, whether it's how they're grown or where they're getting them,
we're just putting people on blast today. We're like, whatever, get it right, fix it
right,
Gen X style. We want the yellow boxes back at Wendy's. And we want those fries in those boxes that we had back then. And we want the salad bar, the potato bar at Wendy's. Y'all.
Super bar.
Y'all don't know. If y'all never experienced a super bar, I don't know what to tell you.
Those were gone before I hit high school, I think. I think they were still around in junior high.
No way. I worked in Wendy's in high school, and on my lunch break every day I would get a baked potato and I would load that bitch up with everything on the bar.
So was it after we graduated? So it would have been late 90s?
It would have been late 90s, early 2000s. I would say probably early 2000s. Yo, what's up? So I think I want to say probably late 90s, early 2000s is when we lost the super bar at Wendy's. That shit was dank. By the way, for those of you who don't know, you are listening to the Cannabis Closet podcast. I am Canna Queen, and this is MJ, and we're here every Monday and Wednesday at 4:20. And today, we are back from what happened. Okay, what had happened was on Wednesday we went off the air and then forgot everything that we were supposed to do after that. Because then Thursday we went to Denver, and then Friday we went to a concert, Dead & Company. If you've never gone, please take the time, experience that before the last 3 members leave this planet, because it was really amazing and beautiful. And let's see. And then Saturday, I just was hanging out with some friends. Like, it's just like the whole weekend. And then yesterday I had to travel back. Here, you had to travel on Saturday. You had clinic yesterday, and I had to. I was hanging out with a friend, and then had to travel back yesterday. So basically, what we're saying to you is that we did not plan this show. We like to be honest with you and transparent. She had to work today because we went to the concert on Friday.
It's a manic Monday. Yeah, we had to. My clinic couldn't house us the days that I would typically have it. And then the alternatives were in the middle of my other week or the beginning of this week. So I was like, let's I gave the practitioner the choice, and she was of the mind of, let's do this. And so here we are. And it allowed me to go to the Dead and Company show with you, and it was awesome. And
my chiropractor is going to have a field day with that, because basically we were at Fiddler's Green and we were standing on an incline like this the whole time.
Like, and, literally
yeah, it was just like we were, so we weren't looking like up the incline, of course. We were looking down the incline, so like your toes are hitting the fronts of your shoes. It's hard to stay bound. My knees, I thought my knees, I was like, am I an old lady? My knees are about to give out any second on this on this hill right here. It was but it was dope. It was super amazing. It was kind of a spiritual experience, if you will. I can understand why people would feel that way. I definitely felt it. I mean, we laughed, and I definitely cried a little bit at some parts. I mean, it was absolutely beautiful. I thought they did a great job. I'm sorry that I've never seen one before now, because now I feel like I'm missing out, but I will not again. I will do that again before it's all over with. It was amazing.
It's just a whole different era. Yeah, it's funny. I was a patient came in today, and he's actually one of the owners here, and he's an old dad, and we were just chatting. He's like, I missed the concerts for the first time because of all the COVID and the health, and he's like just trying to stay low key. And he's like, but then
oh shit.
No, he's like, I told him, I was like, we went to the show on Friday, because he's like, I heard they played at Red Rocks. He's like, I was really upset.
They put those Red Rocks shows in after I bought those tickets, because we would have been at Red Rocks on Wednesday, Thursday, or Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever. I want to say hi to Saya and Aaron. What's up? What part of the 757? That's my stomp. That's where I stomp. That's where my best friends reside. I'm not all my best friends. Clearly, I'm sitting here with MJ, but like that's in Virginia is where I met some really important women in my life. And it taught me the importance of having women like that in my life. So now I'm always seeking out those relationships and gaining them.
We need to make a trip to Virginia. One of my besties is out in
yes,
Virginia
we do
as well. She's out in Richmond.
That's further away from where we're talking about.
Are you?
Yeah, down Virginia Beach area. Down in that situation.
I don't know how it works, but
Norfolk, Virginia Beach, that kind of area. But anyways, it's ours, but it's whatever. We don't mind driving on the east. What was I going to say? I forgot what it was. We do need to go to Virginia. That's what I was saying. We absolutely do. They've just had legalized their medicinal program. If anybody in any state wants to give us a helping hand and give us a shout out, we will be more than happy to send you a little stack of our flyers to take to the dispensaries and to cannabis spaces that you're going into. Introduce us to your fams out there.
Yeah, we'd be happy to come out and do educations, town talks, whatever. I feel like
we like it.
Just the conversations that could be had, how it's coming into your community, how be ready for it, because adult use follows quickly behind.
Always. Not always, but
mostly.
I mean, that's. Is it always?
Not always.
It's at least attempted on several levels. After.
But that's the thing, is like, especially the ones that do a shit job of really doing a good medical program, I feel like they're not, they're either going to fuck up their adult use or just fuck up everything. It's just done in a different mindset with a different, agenda. Here was education first, education, product capability, and then we
You just made me think of something. There is a an upcoming event in Missouri, actually. It's a hiring event. So let me find the poster for that. I don't have it to share, but I will tell y'all about it. And I'll share it. I have shared it on the page, but I'll share it on the Facebook page again too. It's a Cannabis job fair and expo. So you were just talking about that, and it just made me think of that. It's November 13th, so mark your calendars. It's 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. It is in Kansas City, Missouri, at the Black Archives of Mid-America. There's going to be hundreds of job availability. People are going to be there interviewing and taking resumes. There are going to be grow stores, breeders, also cultivators, delivery, manufacturing, dispensaries. So if you're in the Missouri area and you're interested in that kind of thing, looking for new job opportunities, that's the place to be. Even if, hey, listen, if you're in Missouri, in Kansas City, and also in Missouri in general, I don't know how long it takes to get from other places, but I know from St. Louis, it's only like 4 hours. I say that lightly because I like to drive a lot. But what I will say is, in those spaces, you can have conversations with people. So even if you're not looking for a job necessarily, but you know, you're just looking to be more involved in those spaces, you can meet people and have those conversations in that area, in that space. So go check
meet your
that out.
community. Go support those businesses that you might frequent or tell your friends about. You know, like it's
Yeah.
all, we are a community in itself. As far as then you have the patients, then you have it just really can unite us in ways. I
Yes.
mean, I've connected patients. Like, would it be okay if this patient contacted you? This patient is looking for, they're in recovery and don't feel like they have capability to meet people. They're not super technology, social media people, and
Right.
I would love to put together meet and greets and have in spaces, because especially in some of these rural spaces out in Craig and Hayden and in
You're
the
right.
Moffat County area where there are still patients, but they don't have those opportunities to meet. And especially if they're, again, in recovery, they're not going into the bars, they don't, and then meeting people that are, like-minded. So
Right.
it's really hard, especially in smaller, less populated areas. And
Mhm.
so, and
Always want to do something that's community involved, and I feel like I travel so much that I'm not enough involved in my own community. But it is also a small community, and you and I and Dr. B actually tried to get something going here several years ago, back in the day,
back in the beginning.
and nobody was really interested. I wonder if the climate has changed now. I'm just not. I always say I want to be more invested in the cannabis community here in my area, because I'm so invested in the cannabis community overall, and I do go into a lot of different spaces in different states and do the things. And so, yeah, I have to make a bigger effort here
I
when I am
agree.
here.
And that's how I feel just even in my state, in my area, and where I live, the clinic areas that we have. um like, I would love to hang out with some of my patients. I'm like, we have some pretty cool freaking people,
Mhm.
and I know that a lot of my patients know each other, because of where we live and how we live. But then there's just even more. I don't know, I'm like, I've talked about it, I guess, but then also I get very introverted, and I'm like, okay, that I'll show up to an event, but
Yeah,
I
I'll
have
show
to,
up. Do I?
do I
Right,
have to
but
plan it?
I
If
think so. I think so. I
if I
think
want it to
so.
happen, I'm gonna have to plan it. Yeah.
Right. I
And that's
think
always
that's
scary
the
because
feeling
then
I
I'm like,
have around
oh,
here.
and I'm like, what if no one shows up?
But the conversation I had today with the person that I had it with, some of y'all gonna know who it is just based on what I'm about to say, but I had a conversation with with a person today who I absolutely love, and that person always gives me a spark. Like, I feel like she always lights the fire that I need her to light.
She's
And
just
like,
yes.
so anyways, it was yeah, it was I love talking, but also it makes me think about, like, what am I doing in my own community to be the person that I am for these other communities, and showing up the way I need to.
Right, right.
Right. And also being more involved in the things that I'm already involved in. Like, I really
Right.
do want that, you know? So
Yes. Yes.
I'm going to do better, ladies and gentlemen.
We need to do the van life, just tour around. We'll start
Yes.
making, like start making
Mm-hmm.
and
Absolutely.
pulling into places. We could make that happen.
We could make that happen for sure.
Mm.
Let's talk about what I came on here and told everybody we're going to talk about today, which is what? Are your kids going to find candy that has cannabis in it in their Halloween bags? Every year we get a warning about it. Hi, what are you doing? Come say hi. Okay.
Hey,
Good. Oh, now you've knocked something over. Good job. Now get out. So we always hear these stories. They're local news channels, they're mainstream media stories. We always see them about be careful. The police are warning. So I'm actually going to start with a myth busting site. I haven't looked at any of these, by the way. So I'm going to be as surprised as you are if I find out that people are putting this expensive ass candy in some kid's basket. For what? For what? And also, like, as a parent, have you found this in your kid's bag ever? Trick or treating? Especially, are you in a legal state and then you found candy in your bag that wasn't supposed to be in there? You should be checking the bag before you let your kid go through it. We did just do that story about that South Carolina woman that
teacher. Yes. And
so it made me also kind of want to do that, talk about this too, because what? You know?
I mean, so in our generation, it was the razor blades and the candy, and take
And the
your
pins.
candy, and the
If
sharp
it was
shit.
even y'all, you know how the one that loses its flavor in 5 seconds. You know how it's wrapped in the little wax paper, and then the wax paper comes a little loose. Do you know how much gum I lost because of the 80s? Like, really too much got thrown away because of these hype stories about there was never anything. They literally
the open wrapper.
I actually had this discussion with my husband, and I don't think his parents went through that hysteria with him. And I was like, "Are you kidding?" Because he's the same age as we are. And I was like, "Are you kidding?" My parents were like checking my candy and taking shit away if it was a little bit open. Like, people were out there just killing kids. Like, people were just out there murdering children with razor blades and little pin needles.
We were in Oklahoma, so I feel in our neighborhood, everyone knew everyone. So I feel like our parents would look at our candy and they were aware of it, but they were like,
yeah, I moved around a lot. I'm an Army brat.
Yeah.
So we did live in neighborhoods where there was a bunch of Army people, but like, it was like, yeah, we knew people, but like, we moved every 3 years or so.
Right. So yeah, so just, I mean, and maybe in certain areas, maybe in different areas that is it was more, and that's why the myth or
what I want to know,
hysteria got started. Like,
what I want to know is what sadistic baby boomer came up with this bullshit reason to steal your children's candies. Just take it while they sleep, and you don't have to make a reason for it. Like, no, I gotta inspect your candy. And then I got to take all of this candy, this much of it, from
because it might be dangerous.
because it might be dangerous. That's suspect.
So I guess this whole cannabis candy in your kids' Halloween stash. Are they, yeah, and I guess that's the thing, is like someone homemaking them and dropping it, yeah, like, are you getting a homemade caramel apple? Is it it's not like
I mean, you're not going in their house and eating the candy in there. Where I would say that there could
has to
be
be
potential
individually
danger in that,
packaged.
where like if somebody's giving you unpackaged food or food that they made and I don't want to say that. Anyways,
We used to get
trigger warning,
popcorn
I was going to
balls.
talk
Yeah.
about predators, but it's, I guess be scared about that. But I did too. There's a older lady down the street. She was like a grandma type. She had a granddaughter who was born on the same day as me. So like I was friends with her granddaughter when her granddaughter came into town. We hung out. And she did the caramel balls, the popcorn balls. They were delicious. Y'all, I ate that shit. Are you kidding?
So good.
Whatever.
I would eat it medicated too.
Snopes to the rescue, y'all. Published today. Today. The headline reads, Marijuana Edibles, Halloween Candy, and a History of Hysteria. We didn't find a single case of a person purposely giving children marijuana edibles on Halloween in an attempt to harm them. Because why? What is the purpose?
I mean, it's not like you see this like Criminal Minds episode.
You're not gonna kill them.
That follows them around watching to see what the cannabis candy does to the kids.
They're gonna go sleep. That's what they're gonna do. They might cry a little bit. They might puke. That's it. That's it. They're gonna sleep in the next day. Everybody's gonna have a great next day because the kid's gonna sleep all day. I haven't seen a caramel ball in forever either. And I don't remember things often from my childhood, but that did hit a little memory spot for me as well. But hey, listen, if anybody should have been scared of taking unpackaged food, it should have been children in the 80s, okay? And most of us are fine. It's fine. I don't think, honestly, if Snopes did a story on this, that they would find a single story of somebody actually getting pins and razor blades in their fucking candy. They went so far. Listen, I was going to say this earlier and I lost my train of thought, but they went so far in some places they would have the police. You could go to the police station and have your Halloween candy scanned.
So you could go to the hospital. They'd run it like because hospitals can afford
like an X-ray machine
and have time to just what's X-ray candy?
Not now. You can't go to a hospital. Don't do it.
Let's give you back the X-rayed candy.
Yeah, you could go to police stations and then you would like pour your bag of candy on the conveyor belt, and they would X-ray it because that's safe.
Like through the airport terminals, like that kind of run through.
Yeah, but the one in the 80s. So
yeah,
that's probably like we probably all got radiation or some shit from that. I don't know how those things work.
Yeah.
So Snopes says, let's see. As Halloween approaches 2021, I know, very safe. Nothing in the 80s was safe. We still had lead paint. That's real. A police department in Pennsylvania warned parents to be on the lookout for marijuana edibles in their children's trick-or-treat candy haul. According to the ABC News affiliate, the warning came on the heels of a traffic stop that resulted in the confiscation of a few marijuana edibles that look similar to... Okay, so here's their mindset. I'm just going to pause. Here's their mindset. It looks like something that you get at the grocery store and give to your children. So it must be that somebody's going to put that in your child's bag. Listen here. There's a huge difference in the cost of the Sour Patch Kids you get at the Costco, okay, or whatever, the city market, the Safeway, and the ones you get at your local dispensary, or make yourself even.
People don't even give out full-size candy bars. So let's
Yeah,
why you think
like,
they're
yeah,
gonna give you your
digress.
edible?
Digress for a moment. People don't even give out full-size candy bars. You can buy them 3 for $1 at some grocery stores. They won't even do that. Do you think for a fucking second that that $25 package of gummies is going to end up in your 8-year-old's bag? You wish. You fucking wish.
When I'm a millionaire, you can come the adults can come trick or treat to our house, and we
Hey,
will give you
that would be me.
medicated edibles.
When I have access to my millions,
Adults only.
bring your trick or treat bag to my house, adults, because we'll do some adult trick or treat. Hey, what's your flavor? like, do you like chocolate or do you like gummies?
And
so
yeah,
funny.
we can even talk savory for those that don't want to do sugar.
Or do you want some beef jerky?
Jerky.
Don't fuck around. You wish. Yes, you wish. So you could be examining your kid's package. We could do it. We could do it.
Yep. We'll let y'all know. We'll let y'all know when our Mega Millions hit, and we are having an adult trick or treating full-size candy edible.
Yes, I'll give your kid a full-size candy bar, and I will give you something to counteract that sugar high for yourself, because it's going to take a lot of calmness. Here's your full-size candy bar. Hey, baby, come here. Here's your full-size candy bar, too.
Yep.
Ain't nobody going to do that. That shit costs too much. It's too much money. Okay, so this says the police director, I'm not even going to say the place where it's in Pennsylvania. The police director of public safety said, unfortunately, there's a lot of sick and evil people out there. And this is I don't know why I gave him this voice, but just bear with me. But this is the world we live in. This is how I imagine he talks, like, who knows where these things could have wound up? People think listen, if it happens, it was a complete fucking accident. It was like, where the fuck?
I'm like, I know where my, yeah, exactly. It's like, I know where my stuff is.
You know where they are. You know where they are. You just do. You're not putting them in with this. It's just not happening. People think it's funny, and they're going to put them in Halloween bags and not realize that you could have had a child now that could have reacted to it. I mean,
people think it's funny.
What's funny about spending $25 on somebody that's not going to enjoy the high?
And is not going to, yeah. And that you're most likely going to have an emergency situation with.
And give us a bad name.
Because kids, parents are going to know what, yeah.
No. It's going to entice the people that push that stigma. It's going to entice their beliefs.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
I can see a hater being like, going through the steps to create a situation so they could be like, see.
Okay, so Snopes goes into the whole history of it. They're like, is this a rumor, or is this like what do you call it, an urban legend? So decades of rumors. The claim that kids are in danger of receiving marijuana-tainted candy on Halloween has been around as long as marijuana-infused candy has been around. Throughout history, marijuana edibles have been... Y'all about to learn something today. We all are. Let's just do it. Marijuana edibles have been largely homemade concoctions starting around 2000 BC, when cannabis, deemed one of the 5 sacred plants in the Veda, was mixed together with nuts and spices to make a drink called Bang. That's where, anyways, that's where they got their edibles name from, by the way. Pretty sure. Spelled the same, all that stuff. Anyways, edibles first gained popularity in the United States in the 60s, thanks in part to hashish fudge recipe. Alice, people that she's got a history. There's people that know a lot about her, but Alice B. Toklas cookbook, she was like, she would go around and hand out to adults, not to children. Chowhound described Toklas' recipe as a raw granola bar made with black peppercorns, nutmeg, cinnamon, coriander, de-stoned dates, dried figs, shelled almonds, peanuts, and sativa cannabis, which is pulverized and combined with a cup of sugar and dissolved in a large serving of butter. Dang, y'all, get to cooking.
I know. Who's taking notes and making this?
Get on it. Edibles have come a long way since the raw granola bar, but when California became the first to legalize medical cannabis, we're just going to call it cannabis, in 1996, the edible was largely related to baked goods and tinctures that could be added to tea. In other words, products that couldn't be mistaken for Halloween candy. But by 2010, medical edibles dubbed Medibles were being advertised in newspaper, and they do look like the candy, right? They look like gummy bears. They look like Sour Patch Kids and shit like that.
Because that's how some were making them. They're just spraying out, or
and a little silicone.
Not melting down, recreating all that jazz. Just
they weren't even doing the meltdown and remolding them. They were just spraying them with the oils. So they were just spraying them with the oil. It's not, don't do that anymore. There's too much technology. Okay. When these candies first started appearing, so did the warnings about the candies. The LA Police Department in October 2010, confiscated THC-infused candies and snacks from local dispensaries. So they went in and raided the place, took all that stuff. A few days before the city voted on legalizing cannabis, which did not pass at the time. They issued warnings about marijuana edibles getting mixed up in children's candy bags. Alert issued on pot-laced treats. That was the headline. They started searching for cases of children who had accidentally ingested cannabis edibles from like getting it in their candy bags and stuff. They couldn't find a single case. So
yeah, I mean, most likely they would go to, their parents would take them to a hospital, and that hospital
right away, and they would have to document it and report it.
Right?
They would have absolutely, yeah. So yeah, it's an urban legend. I mean, they're like I was saying before, these urban legends date back to way back when. Like, it's not even, it's back, we had these urban legends as when people started putting candy in bags for children, okay? In the 70s, there's an urban legend that says that a father was convicted of murder after they added cyanide to pixie sticks. Yeah, so go check out Snopes.com. It's I just did a search that said, hey, I didn't say hey. I just want to know, are there cases of finding marijuana edibles in Halloween candy? And Snopes is known for reporting the truth. So we found 2 cases that said, so this is their research. In their research, they found 2 cases that somewhat resemble this rumor, but neither case involved ill-intentioned neighbor or anything like that. In 2019, police in Nova Scotia reported that a parent found a cannabis edible in their children's candy. Police do not provide any information about how the edible got there or whether or not it contained THC. It wasn't tested. It states that the child was trick-or-treating in a group and no other children in the group received that candy. In other words, there's no evidence that this was intentionally placed. I mean, good Lord, y'all. It wouldn't be. It wouldn't be. Nobody's got that kind of money. Rich people don't even have that kind of money.
How about this unintentional shooting that occurred with Alec Baldwin?
Oh, yeah, we'll talk about, let me just say the second one real quick, because I know you wanted to talk about that. Yeah. And then in a 2018 case, 5 children in Arizona got sick, but a 12-year-old had accidentally brought those gummies to school. So that 12-year-old went into their parents' stash, lock it up, everybody, lock it up, and took it to school, probably thinking they was just regular candy, like, ooh, candy, right? So that is the problem that the states are having. And a lot of states are like requiring that things like gummies and such like that are not shaped in those shapes that children
Right.
are
Or
attracted
are
to.
stamped. Or are
Right.
stamped,
And
like
are
with
stamped,
the.
individually stamped even.
Yeah.
So, yeah, just, be careful, but you're not likely to find some free gummies in your child's bag. And honestly, if a parent found, like, that's what you were saying about the hospital reports. If a parent found in their bag, they'd probably just be like, mine, that one's not good, that one's got needles in it. Like, I don't know. Like,
This is my favorite.
yeah, something like that, so
Or yeah.
yeah, it's not gonna happen. Y'all aren't gonna find that candy. You gotta go get it yourself. You do. It's what's up. You wanted to talk about that. So trigger warning, everybody, we're about to talk about death, which is taking a full left turn. Probably would have done it in the beginning of the show, but she wasn't here yet, and it was something that you wanted to talk about. So
Dude, how does this happen? I mean, and the only reason I was talking about it earlier is because it was on the news. They were talking to one of his close friends, like
so tell everybody what you're referring to first.
Well, it happened a couple days ago, but Alec Baldwin shot somebody with what was supposed to be a prop gun, and I think they died.
Yes, she did die, and that gun was cleared. I read a story today by one of the people. So they gave him a cold gun, they said. They told him it was cold when they handed it to
So, I
him.
mean, obviously, there's there's going to be investigations and everything, and I haven't actually read anything because I haven't been able to. Well, not I just haven't gone and looked, but my sister, or I think I heard the headline, and then have just been seeing snippets here and there of information. So I have like, what the fuck? Poor Alec Baldwin. Like, what? I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know either, and it's such an unfortunate, like.
And the person who lost her life, I mean, again, I don't even know what show it was on or what they were, what he was reporting, what they were working on, but
Yeah, I don't either.
his sister on here, she needs to jump on. Text her the link.
She was on here. Is she still on here?
No, she probably went for her siesta.
Oh, yes, because she's very, very.
And I don't have my computer on me to look, and I can't. I think if I leave, I might leave. I don't know how the fucking phone stupid thing works with this.
Yeah, I haven't read too much about it. I just saw the headlines about it. They're still investigating it from what I understand, but I did read a headline today that said that something like when he was handed the gun, he was told that it was cold. But I will tell everybody this. This is why it's important to make sure yourself that the firearm that you are handling, whether it's a prop gun or a regular gun or whatever, is definitely not loaded. You should look at that yourself. You should. First rule of firearms is to make sure that you know what's going on with your fucking firearm that you have in your hand. Mm-hmm. So make sure it's not loaded. Make sure it's actually, like, if somebody says this is cold or whatever the terminology is that they use, then you should make sure yourself that it is. Yeah. It's sad that a young woman lost her life because of that. And yeah, condolences. Condolences to Snoop Dogg's family too. They lost their matriarch today. Yeah. Very sad. And now we have to figure out how to pick this show back up. So we talked about.
Right. Yes.
Very sad situations.
On another, there's a bomb cyclone that's supposed to that's sweeping through California right now and dropping
Oh, is that
snow. And
Sky River or whatever?
no idea. And then I guess it's supposed to. I mean, I don't know if it's swooping over this way or if we're gonna get affected. I don't think. I don't think you'll get affected.
I want to say, because I was watching that. Well, I'll be honest, I didn't watch it. I fell asleep because I was in a lot of pain yesterday. And I just needed to rub salve on it and sleep it off. But I started watching the football game yesterday, 49ers versus the Colts. Spoiler alert, we lost. Okay.
No, when I was left, they were still winning.
Yeah, they were winning when I fell asleep. But they were on their way to losing when I fell asleep because they kept letting shit happen. So it's fine. Win, lose, or tie. I'm a Niner till I die. So it's fine. But I fell asleep. But when I was first watching it, they were talking about the weather. There's some weird weather, and it was basically like there was like a body of water basically in the sky that was letting itself go. I don't know. It was weird how she explained it, but it looked like something I didn't want to be a part of. So
yeah, the rain that was coming down, I was like, I can't believe they played it. What, the other day they shut the game down for an hour because of weather. Like, that wasn't bad enough weather to stop the game.
I don't know the answer to your question because again, I fell asleep.
Oh,
but as far as I understand it, they finished the game. I don't know if they finished it in a timely manner, but they did finish the game, and San Francisco lost. Woot! I follow this page just to kind of keep up with what's going on a little bit, and also there's a guy on one of the pages that live streams the games. So if I can't get it on TV, I can always go there. And they always complain about one player, and it is the quarterback every single time we lose a game. And I'm like, y'all know he's not the only one playing. I'm just saying. But I didn't watch the game, and I don't know how he fucked up or didn't fuck up this time around, so I can't go defend anything. And it's fine.
I was watching it while I was eating dinner. And when I say watching, I'm commenting on the rain and the white
moral
uniforms.
Support is very important to me, and I appreciate it.
And I was like, they were winning, and when I was like, woohoo, and then I ate my food and left, and I did not.
Yeah, it's okay. You don't need to be as disappointed as the actual fans are.
But seriously, the rain, I was like, whoa. And then too,
didn't it show the map?
Colts are wearing white uniforms, so they were practically see-through. Like,
yeah, the map showed this like literal V of just water above the state and moving forward, like moving up north. Yeah. So it was interesting.
Intense. Yeah, Illinois got some tornadoes yesterday in Missouri. Did anyone in Missouri get affected by the weather? When I was watching the news, there was tornadoes going down through Perryville, which I think is like southern Illinois, right?
Just in case we've confused you again, this is the Cannabis Closet podcast. Today we're talking about the weather.
Today we're talking about whatever crosses our mind.
Whatever we feel like it.
This mindless Monday of headlines and
Halloween candy that's not going to be in your kid's Halloween bag. Sorry, you got to go buy it yourself. Or wait for us to have access to our millions, and maybe we'll do like adult trick or treating
party. Yeah,
Halloween party.
Oh, stop it, lady.
Y'all do have some crazy storms out there. I do want to say, I do want to wrap this up with like a little touch of, I don't have a headline in front of me about it, but I do have a little picture about it. let me find it. It's about Missouri. Missouri, what's happening out there? There are now 4 grows in Missouri that have either been rumored or are actually selling dispensaries moldy cannabis. I'm talking physical mold or botrytis that can be seen without magnification. Be careful out there. These are state issued license holders. These are people that have a license and are charging you top dollar. What's happening out there, basically? That's the sentiment of everybody. Yeah, it's not good. They're trying to hide it too. I'm sure of that. Beware. Make sure that everything's being tested before it hits the shelf, and maybe get a caregiver, because they don't test, but they tend to they tend to have better pricing, and they will tell you what they're putting in their product. There'll be a one-on-one kind of relationship with you so that you know what they're doing. You can examine everything yourself, or you should be able to with a transparent caregiver.
Yep.
So yeah, you might, or grow your own, because you can in Missouri. So consider it. There are some home cultivation classes that we could definitely recommend to you out there. Also Black-owned businesses. So always gonna do that, recommend first, because that's where your money should be going. Those are the communities that are most affected by the war on drugs. Which one? This is not an article. I found it on Love's page, if you follow her. I don't know if you do or not. But I can share you the picture that I saw. It's just like a clip, but I will tell you, let's talk. We'll chat on Discord. I'll tell you who else told me about that.
I feel like there was a headline about
There
it
was. I
recently
have
as
to say
well.
that there has to
There
have
was
been.
a headline, and did we read it on Wednesday?
I don't know if we did or not, but I know that we talked. I know that the person that I definitely talked to a person about it briefly when I found out about it initially. So I feel like it's something we may have talked about a little bit.
Right.
Be careful, Missouri. I don't know what the fuck, but we don't. The purpose is to heal, not to harm. So I don't know what that is crazy to me. You should not get anything that has mold in it from your dispensary at all. That should be tested and verified product. Absolutely. And if you do, you should report it to the I'm not telling y'all to be snitches or nothing, but also this is a danger to the public. And if you get moldy cannabis, you should report it not only to the dispensary, but I would report it to the health department.
Yeah, I mean, it's a responsibility. I mean, to let the
yeah,
dispensary know. So then, because the dispensary, whether they're growing it themselves or whether they're bringing in the wholesale,
right.
they need to, again, take that along. And that's why we have this whole batch number, seed to sale
Yes,
tracking capability, is
that's
to
why.
have, again, this capability to say, we need to take a look at this product if it is not on the up and up. If it's
Right.
hurting
I
people.
mean, I'm not trying to get anybody in trouble, but I also don't want to smoke
No.
moldy cannabis and then get
Exactly.
sick from that, because that could kill somebody.
That's just it.
And I don't want any part of that. And there are some bad actors out there that don't care what they're selling to people. And if you report just to them, then they might say okay and just throw it away and not even try to
Right.
figure
Or
out what's
just say
going
thanks
on.
and not care.
Yeah. And then sell it to another person that might smoke it because they don't know that it's not supposed to look like that, because they're not consumers on a regular basis, or this is something new and fresh to them. It can be very dangerous. And you would say, "Oh, what do you mean somebody doesn't know what mold looks like?" But like literally a brand new person to this might think it's supposed to look that way. They might not know, and then what, you know?
Right.
So um and then so some of these people, like I said, are bad actors. They don't care about the product. They're working with testing facilities that are kind of fudging the numbers a little bit sometimes to make sure that they still get paid and they still have a client, you know, and they don't want to lose clients, so they want the numbers to be good. It's a whole thing, and so they all need to be regulated on some level.
Right.
You know, I'm you know, I'm on both parts of that. I think that regulation is necessary, but I also don't think regulation is necessary. So there has to be like a nice medium. But we do need to have these products tested because this could kill somebody. And this is
Yeah.
and that's we don't want that on our cannabis face.
It's also why we need, testing facilities available to our caregivers at an affordable cost,
Yes. Yes.
and without a bunch of, regulation. Not that, like when I say not a bunch of regulation over it, being that like just because we're testing doesn't mean we're like now we're like, oh, the caregivers have to do this and the caregivers have to do that and the caregivers have to do this and now they have to build that, now they have to do that. Like
Yeah.
we don't need all that. We just need a safe space to take our cannabis to get tested.
Right. Right. Exactly. That's exactly what we need. There are at-home testing kits, but most of those are for testing the compounds and such. And what we need is an affordable way for caregivers to be able to test for contaminants. So keep our patients safe. Um, and that's on a Monday. So let me light this up. Also, I think that's all we had to talk about today. Really.
I don't have any headlines. Marla sent me something, but I can't look at my phone and look at this at the same time. So
She did send me a little thing about, we kind of touched on this last week. Just a hair, we touched on this last week, but it was that the Colorado cultivators grew 24% more cannabis in 2020 than in previous years. We kind of touched on that a little bit.
okay.
24% increase from 2019. 1.8 million pounds of cannabis was grown in Colorado last year. So
Yay, team.
more than 72% of the total cannabis produced went into the state adult use market. So patients didn't see a whole lot of that. But I worry about our patient program. I do.
I do,
Concerned about it.
and I mean, I feel like that's where, again, our meet and greets and talk when we talk about getting together and being social and that's why we started this podcast is to talk about this and now I would like to be in the communities and reminding them like, hey guys, like just recently Hayden opened up their city to adult use facilities and grows, and and that's great for them. But previously, they wouldn't open for medical, and I just I don't know, but patients are still pretty strong here in this area. I feel like the couple dispensaries still support it very heavily, and it's just I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't know what to say. It's frustrating. It's
it's
frustrating. I have,
frustrating.
one or two medical dispensaries in each city that we're in, and that's not enough. It's not enough. And then that means that there's less manufacturers and vendors because there's less dispensaries to distribute. So why would they keep producing? Their distribution is small unless they can get to further out. Like we don't get the distribution.
Uh-oh. We might have lost her. Did we lose you? She's coming back. We don't have you, babe. Yeah, we lost. Maybe she'll be back in a second. But everything she's was saying was exactly true. This industry, of course, is, you know, a moneymaker. So people are going to see the benefit, the monetary benefit on the adult use market. But don't forget, the people shopping on the adult use market are also shopping to medicate. So, you know, keep that in mind, especially if you're working in the business and you're having these conversations with these individuals. I don't know. We'll wait for a few more minutes or a few to see if she'll come back. We did miss 420 on the West Coast. Sorry about that, you guys. But she might not be able to come back. She might have lost her charge or her signal or something. So I guess I'll wrap it up. It's okay. I want you guys to have a wonderful evening. We will see you back here on Wednesday for our Work Wednesday. As always, be nice to yourselves. Make sure you put on your mask before you assist others. Cultivate love and stay lifted. And we will see you on Wednesday, 4:20 Mountain Standard Time, every Monday and Wednesday, y'all. All right. We'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us.